I was born in Wilmington, Delaware, and I have two siblings, Paul and Carol, both of whom are deceased, and also both of them are younger than I am. So I'm like the old one of the family now. I felt that we had, as kids growing up, we had a very secure life. I realized in later years we didn't have much in the way of money, but we were a happy family. I met the Sisters of St. Francis, first of all, when I was in grade school at St. Thomas's in Wilmington. I had them for the first 8 years of my life. And then when I went to high school, I had Benedictine sisters. However, during those high school years, I worked after school, weekends and summers at St. Francis Hospital. So that way I was back with the Franciscans. Sometimes people would say to me, well, why didn't you go in the Benedictines? Didn't you like the Benedictines? I did. I liked them very much. But there was something that drew me to the Franciscans. Went back to my 3rd grade. We were learning to write letters, and we had to write a letter to our sister, Sister Finbar. And in it, I said something about I worried because I wasn't good at math. She wrote a letter back to each child in that class, and I can assure you the classes were crowded. But in the letter that she wrote to me, at one point she said, "Anne Marie, don't worry about math. Just keep being the same good girl that you are now." And that letter, my mother kept that letter for years. I was in education for a number of years. I taught both grade school and high school. I think altogether I was in education for 36 years. And I taught in various places. One year I was assigned as principal to an elementary school. And I had said at the time, I really don't think I can do that. And they kept saying, yes, you can. But after 1 year, the school was fine, but I just was not comfortable because I don't think I have administrative skills, but I love teaching. So I did ask to be changed. And that was when I began teaching high school in Florida. I love the kids. They kept me young. All of it. I was teaching 5th grade when President Kennedy was assassinated. And I will never forget that day. I had a class of 5th graders, boys and girls. The announcement came over from the principal that he had been shot. And we started praying, and a few minutes later, the principal came back on and said that he had died. And we continued praying, and I remember walking up and down the aisles. One little girl, I can still picture her, she had blonde hair, and she looked up at me and the tears were running, and she said, "Why?" And there was no answer, because there was no why. I was teaching at this same 5th grade class. Must have had a lot of funny things with them because I remember them. I'm teaching at a great rate. They're sitting, paying attention, taking notes, whatever. And all of a sudden, there is this bird flying around the classroom. Some of the kids are ducking, some of them are laughing, and I didn't know what to do. And I think it was only my 2nd year teaching. So I told them to go next door and get Sister Barbara Mary. She came in, stood in the back of the room and laughed. I'm still freaking out, but she did go and get the maintenance man. Now this is mid-morning. He came up, he looked around, and he said, "Sister, I can do nothing until the children are out of the room at lunchtime." Well, we ate in the classroom. So I had to sit there and teach with this bird flying all around and the kids ducking when he came near until after they ate their lunch and went outside. Then he came up and somehow got rid of the bird. Some of the challenges were I had been teaching for a number of years. I want to say 36 years altogether, something like that. And I was given a year off to go on renewal. I was sent to Springfield just to live with the sisters in Springfield during that year. And as the year came to an end, I started thinking, okay, Anne-Marie, you have to find a job. And I said that to the sisters, you know, how do I go about applying for a teaching job in Philadelphia? And they said, oh, Anne-Marie, you can't teach English in Philadelphia. I think I can teach English anywhere. I've taught it in a number of states. Why can't I teach it in Philadelphia? Well, what it was that they are different congregations of sisters taught specific subjects, and Franciscans did not teach English. And I thought, great, now what am I going to do? And there had been an announcement in Community News that they were looking for someone to work in the communications office. I saw it, passed it by, until several people called me on the phone and said, you know, Anne-Marie, you could probably qualify for that. And I was interviewed and got the job. Well, I like writing and I can do editing. I edited kids' papers, so I could edit pretty much what we had. One of the things I liked about it very much was I got to travel because I became part of the communicators network for women religious. Went to many of their meetings over the years. One of the good things about it was that I learned to travel, and I also learned to be not quite so shy when I was around people that I didn't know. I wrote articles for some of our publications, and I edited many things, many writings from other people as well. I started getting my poetry together while I was in the communications office. I had written some poetry over the years, but hadn't done anything with it. But in later years, I've written more. I'm actually trying to write some while I'm here at Assisi House as well. I think some of it is on our is it on a website? There are a few volumes of it there. I have 6 volumes altogether. Well, I moved here not quite 2 years ago. It's about a year and a half, I guess. I love living here. I used to come over here for various activities, like to take pictures, that sort of thing. I got used to being around the sisters here, and I enjoy life here. It's peaceful. We have activities, and I go to some of them, not all. You're kind of free to go, you know, where you want. But I just enjoy being here. I love to read. I go down to Clare Hall, what we call Clare Hall, every morning. And Clare Hall is a unit for sisters that need additional help and care. For example, some of them cannot feed themselves. And so I go down there each morning and help feed those that need help. I enjoy it very much. I enjoy being with them. Some of them are funny. Some of them have reached a point where they really can't converse. But it's just fun to feed them. And I talk whether they can answer me or not. I'm not sure if that's a gift or what, but I chatter away. It's like any other life, you know, there are up days and down days. There is just a closeness. You have a sense of relationship. I have a family within the community. My own family are deceased, except for cousins, and I have a sister-in-law. But the community is a relationship that isn't going to go away. I just think my life has been a good one. I loved teaching. It was something I was good at, and I loved working with kids.